Chelsea Handler, welcome back to the Tonight Show.
Oh my God, I'm so happy we finally got to ski together.
I know, finally. Thank you for
a dream come true.
Thank you for doing that sketch with me too.
Thank you for popping my cherry. It's indoor skiing.
Oh, thank you. Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you on the Critics' Choice Award. It's your 4th time, and you crushed it yet again. You were unbelievable. Amazing, flawless.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I have a lot of fun doing that.
You love it?
I like to make fun of people right to their face, you know? And I always wake up, though, and I think of, like, good punchlines. You know, I said to Leo DiCaprio, he got trapped on a boat in St. Bart's. He almost couldn't make it home. And I said it was like the Titanic, but worse because Jeff Bezos was there. But I should have said but it was for a good cause because they were at a climate summit, you know? Like, making fun of them being on the yacht.
Yeah.
Or when I was talking to Tiana Taylor, I told her that my Pikachu pops for her.
Yes, I do remember that.
I used more colorful language.
Yes.
And I should have said to her, just like I told Benicio del Toro, room 307 at the
that would have been great.
So sometimes I'm like, oh, shoot, why didn't I think of that?
No, it was flawless.
But it was
perfect.
fun, yeah.
It was perfect. You nailed it. It was great. And they all love you, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know, you can't see because you're hosting, but the cutaway is to, like, Ariana Grande gave you props.
Oh, did she?
As she came out, she goes, oh, she looks good.
Oh, yeah. I feel good. I feel hot.
Come on. You do are hot. Come on.
Thank you.
You told me that you just went to Antarctica.
I went to Antarctica. I was looking for some ice. I was in Europe over the summer, and they don't have any ice in the cocktails in Europe.
That's so
wrong with everybody? There's nothing worse than getting a vodka soda and 2 ice cubes.
I agree.
You know? So anyway, the ice is melting in Antarctica. I wanted to go down there and grab some before it's all gone. And so there was a psychedelic cruise going to Antarctica. And I was like, well, these are combining 2 of my biggest passions, ice and psychedelics.
Wow.
So half of the boat was researching psychedelics and the other half were on them. And I was in the second group.
Okay, all right, okay. I understand.
Yeah, so it was a really fun adventure. And ice, like, if you ever get the opportunity to go to Antarctica, it was majestic. Like, there's a wall of ice that you see, like, when you pass 60 degrees longitude, where they're like, okay, you can see the first icebergs that, like, are the beginning of Antarctica. And it looks like the North Wall in Game of Thrones or something.
Really?
I mean, I was on a lot of drugs, but it was very exciting, whether you're on drugs or not.
Hopefully it was real. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my memories are amazing.
Yeah, but you were telling me backstage that you brought someone that you met in Vegas.
Oh, yes, yeah. This is a great story. So I met this guy in Vegas. I mean, I have a residency in Vegas. I perform there once a month. That's the schedule I like to work. And and I go and I gamble after my shows, right? I always bring my girlfriends and we gamble, and I give everyone money because I'm forcing them to gamble. So I want to provide them with the money. And they lost my money. So I had to go back to the casino the next night to win back the $3,000 that my friends had lost. And I went into the casino, and I just sat down at a table, and there's a guy sitting at the table that I went and sat down with, and he's wearing a cowboy hat, and he's got lots of chips, like thousands of dollars of chips. I said, sir, I'm gonna need to borrow $1,000. And I said, I'll start winning, probably, and then I'll pay you right back. So he gave me $1,000. I did start winning. I paid him back, and then I paid him back twice. You know, like I was interest, whatever. Then I won my money, and then the table was popping. Like, we were having a blast.
Yes.
I was splitting 2s against kings and winning.
Yeah.
Everyone was coming over, playing. Anyway, I leave, I get my money back, I make my money back. Like a responsible person, I go home to my bed. To the hotel, to my bed.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I was getting the text from this guy, and he's like, hey, I had a really fun time with you last night. Like, I like your vibe. When can we see each other again? And I was like, listen, I'm off. I said, he goes, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going on an adventure. He's like, I like adventures. So I sent him the link for the trip to Antarctica. And then he came to Antarctica.
Dude, that's cool.
I was like, whoa. I like that. I like a big move like that, and then you better follow it up with some other big moves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, well, he's in the green room right now, so
yeah,
he's listening.
So, yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah, thank you.
I loved him, yeah. That's a great story. That's crazy.
That's how I like to meet men, you know?
You
Unexpected.
do? Unexpected.
Oh, look at the penguins. They were so helpless, you guys. They have these little flippers, but they're behind them. So when they call them penguin highways, when they go up and down to the water, and then they keep falling and on their face, and they have no way to get back up.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they like it.
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
know. I don't know why evolution hasn't helped them out a little bit more, you know?
But look at this photo you brought. This is insane.
Yeah,
Is that a
that
whale?
was beautiful. That's a humpback whale.
Oh, my
No,
gosh.
Yeah, that's a humpback whale. And we were kayaking right there in front of it.
Chelsea, that's gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I loved it. It made me believe in God, that trip.
Yes.
I
That's
mean,
the
you
type
know,
of thing that does make you.
Yeah,
That's
for a couple
amazing.
of days anyway.
Sure, why not? But then as part of this trip, you auctioned off something. They said, hey, could you have anything we can auction off to raise money?
Yes, and I offered a breakup call where I would provide the service to call the person. Obviously, this would be on behalf of women wanting to break up with a husband or a boyfriend, and I deliver the news that the relationship is no longer viable, and that you
it's
just
so
lost.
funny.
Yes.
I've never heard of anyone doing
But
that.
don't you think that's a perfect service for me to provide the people?
I think it's genius, and now I think you should own this.
Yeah, I definitely want to do a side hustle kind of business, and I don't want to even charge people. It would be my pleasure, quite frankly.
That's so funny. Did you do it yet or not yet?
I haven't done it yet. The guy who bought it doesn't seem like he's going to have a girlfriend anytime soon, so I'm not really worried about it.
I want to talk about your new tour. By the way, your last one was fantastic.
Thank
I love
you.
your special. This is the High and Mighty Tour. Congratulations on this. What are we discussing on this tour?
We're discussing, well, we're going to, listen, we're going to be discussing a lot of my adventures. I've been on a lot of adventures this year. I've now been to every continent. I've now had sex on every continent. And thank you. And I've now, and I have a lot of wisdom to share about my travels. And I love, one of my passions is, I love microdosing, LSD, MDMA, whatever really you have. And I love to spread that kind of sunshine around the world. I bring drugs into foreign lands, and I give people who I think need the medicine. I feel like I'm a healer, like a shaman. And
a healer or a dealer?
You
a
say
shaman?
healer, I say
dealer.
You say dealer, I say healer.
You're a shaman?
I'm like a shaman. I want people just to be happier than they are. The world is a very ugly place, and I really think I can help.
Yeah, come on.
Yes.
You can.
So I just, I get to travel all over the world for this, and then I had a really fun experience in Mallorca a couple of years ago. There was this older couple. They were in their 80s, and they were walking past my house in Mallorca. I have a house there that I bought years ago, and they were just, the way they were holding each other's hands was really sweet,
Yeah.
And I stopped them. I said, "What's the deal?" And they were like, "We were celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary."
Whoa.
And I was like, "Whoa, I can't imagine, being married to someone for 50 years. That's incredible. I could see something special about you guys." I said, "I have a couple kayaks here. If you want to borrow the kayaks, I'd love to be part of your anniversary in some capacity." And they were like, "Oh, we would love a kayak ride." And they got into the kayak, and then in my pocket, I had a little LSD. And I said, "Have either two of you," I obviously asked them about their health history because I'm a medical practitioner. And
You're
I
not.
said, "Have either of you," I'm not. And I said, "Have either of you had any heart issues or strokes or anything?"
You did not give these people
I said,
LSD.
it's a microdose. It's a tiny microdose. I said, "Listen, you don't have to do it, but if you want to do it," they said, "We're having a really good night." I'm like, "It could get better." And so I gave them the microdose. I forget about these people, okay? I go out, I hang with my friends. I'm on my terrace the next morning at 7:30. I saw these people at 9:30 at night. 7:30 in the morning, I see this kayak coming into my house. And I'm like, "That looks like my kayak." And then the couple gets out of the kayak and they're waving to me. And I'm like, "Hey, you guys." And then they came upstairs. I opened the door to my terrace, and the man said to me, he goes, "Hey, you told me that we couldn't," he said, "I told you that we were having a great night, and you told me you could make our night better. And guess what? You did." He said, we sat in an alcove for the last 10 hours talking about the most beautiful memories we've ever had in our wedding. We talked about our children. He said, we renewed our vows to each other. And then the woman looked at me and she put her hands on my face. It was so sweet. And then she put out her hand and said, "Do you have any more LSD?" Am I a healer?
Yes, you are a healer. You're nothing but a healer. Chelsea Handler, everybody, for tickets to her High and Mighty Tour. Go to chelseahandler.com.